You got
Yes,
on?
we're going to make you put the stilettos on. So like, subscribe, and comment.
I mean, first of all, hold up. How can you even dance in them doggone things? My feet hurt thinking about them.
Oh, well, it's easy for me because it's all I know. I've been in stilettos since I was 16 years old. My mother wore stilettos, and I think I picked it up from her. So I'm very, very comfortable in stilettos, uncomfortable in flats.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's brand new because I'm comfortable in these hokas, but you somehow get that done.
Yes.
And you be moving. You be moving in them stilettos.
Yes. It's the only way I know. I get asked that question quite often, and quite frankly, it is the only way I know. If you see me in flats or sneakers, I would look very, very awkward. It's like it's the total opposite. And I fell down one time, and I twisted and tore up my ankle, and everybody was like, were you wearing stilettos? I actually did it in flats. I'm so comfortable in stilettos, I actually broke my ankle in flats, not stilettos. So when I go to the gym, I wear flats. Other than that, it's always stilettos.
Okay, so I got to ask, first of all, how you got a dance background, correct?
Well, not professional, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not professionally or classically trained. My dance background basically is just always loving to dance. There's
Okay.
no classic training. Back in the day when we would have to clean up the house on Saturdays and our parents would put on the music and we would dance around the house and vacuum and clean and do our chores. Dance was just always there. It was always a part of me. I always drafted my friends. I would make up dances very little and force them to do it. And when my parents would have company, we would perform. So it's just always been a part of my life.
All right, so we got to talk about, first of all, everything you always post online is either positive or it's dance related and just talking about the love of dance. How do you stay so positive amongst all the stuff that you catch in line dancing?
Okay. Oh, that's a very good question. It's not always easy, but it's a choice that I make to keep the peace for myself. I cannot get caught up in negative activity, negative attitudes, negative vibes, negative energy. It serves no purpose for me in my vortex. So I make a choice to do the opposite. And like I said, it is a choice. It's not always an easy choice because I'm human. Sometimes I want to clap back, but I know that does not behoove me to do that. So therefore, I'd rather err on the side of positive and love and leave the negative stuff to the side.
Talk to me about some of the dances that you've created. How has the line dance community received your dances that you created? Have you seen a lot of traction, a lot of love around the country, or is it still a work in progress? You're making relationships.
Okay, so that's another good question. My manager has spoken.
Well,
You don't want me just I haven't answered for it, but okay. No? Okay, he says not that one.
okay, all right. So let me ask you, you're from the Poconos.
Yes.
Okay, so how far is the Poconos from like civilization where they're dancing? Because you are really bringing dance to, first of all, the Poconos, and you're really bringing line dancing to the Poconos, and which, if you're not from Pennsylvania, which I am originally from Pennsylvania, it's really not that far away from the eastern part of Pennsylvania. But if you're not from Pennsylvania, then you might think that's somewhere in the sticks, right?
Correct. Yeah, and that's a good question. Again, the Pocono Mountains in particular everything is an hour or more away. So it's geographically, it's very difficult there, and there's not a lot going on there. And so that's how I got into teaching. I was a part of a group in New Jersey when I first started line dancing. When I moved to the Poconos, they didn't have line dancing, so I was traveling back and forth, but it just didn't seem feasible to constantly do that. And that's how the concept of me teaching where I was came up. And then to give the people in that particular area something to do, which is what they wanted. So that's kind of how that started in the Pocono Mountains. But again, geographically, it's not an urban city. So it's very difficult to get consistency where I am because of the distance. People had to travel over an hour just to get to class. you know.
Well, the
Yeah.
good thing that is consistent about you is you are #1 on TikTok. We do know that.
Oh,
So how
wow.
do you do that? How do you remain so good on TikTok with all of your wonderful dancing? You think Big Brother ain't watching? Big Brother is always watching.
Big Brother's watching. You know, that's another good question. It's kind of there's no real answer to that, and I'm going to tell you why. I do what I love to do, okay, which is dance. I have a passion for dance. I do it, and I'm me, my style, and what have you. So how people receive me is very difficult for me to answer why they follow me or why they're attracted to me, but I actually would assume that it has something to do with being positive and positive energy. Most people, even though negative energy gets a lot of controversy, people are attracted to it and it gets a lot of play. But in being positive, I'm also learning that really more people want positive energy than they do negative. That's what I believe. So my thing is, I think my persona and what I present is positive. I'm promoting movement. I'm promoting, I don't care if you know how to dance. Move, keep moving. And so as a result, people become inspired by that. And as a result, they will follow me based on being inspired by my attitude or what I'm presenting.
Do you think that maybe it's overall after a certain amount of time, and people have really, a lot of times it's just people getting a chance to sit down and talk to you and meet you, and then they can really just see how positive you are and your really great energy and vibe, and usually that can kind of knock away any misperceived or misconceptions. What do you think?
Yes, I agree with that. But you have to get to that place where you meet the person. A lot of times there's misconceptions based on what other people say or whatever is going around without meeting the individual. So I do agree with your saying, and once you get to that meeting point, then it becomes, oh, okay, well, she's nothing like what I thought. Well, right, you know, sometimes you have to give people a chance and not operate based on gossip. Don't form your opinion based on gossip. You form your opinion based on your personal experience with me. So that's the way I see that, because when people meet me, they find that, I mean, I'm cool. I'm funny sometimes, but I'm corny most of the time. Like, there's a lot of little tidbits and fun facts that you learn about me, you know, and it's like I'm not what you think I am based on the rumors or the gossip that goes around.
Okay, but just to keep this light and positive for a
Yeah.
second, though, what if, let's just say for the sake of conversation, because that's what we're doing here, for the sake of conversation, what if somebody met you, they had a bad perception or some misperception, they met you, got your very positive, because if you haven't met Traci Stilettozz, I'm telling you, wonderful, positive energy all the time. So if they haven't met you and then they meet you and they're like, oh my God, maybe I said something in the past, I so now regret it. And maybe they say that to you, or maybe they just certainly start acting differently to you.
Right.
Is that something that you can let go and just forgive and move forward? Or is that something that they actually need to articulate to you?
Okay, that's another good, these are really good questions, because I've experienced that, where on the back end, you know, was, things said, and then this particular person met me finally and just was totally like in awe and happy to meet me, and it was like, wow, you're awesome, or nothing like what I thought. Now my thing is, in keeping it real, you know, I'm human, so sometimes it's not so easy to let it go. I don't go around hating, but sometimes I just know I stay in my lane and you stay in yours. However, if it's articulated to me, I'm very, very open and very forgiving, of course. And I just move forward from there with the positive vibes that you're presenting to me in person upon meeting me. So we can move forward. We can always move forward. I never want to stay back there.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that,
Yeah.
because sometimes folks, even myself, I know I'm a perfectionist, but even myself, I'm not always perfect every day. So that means that nobody else is always perfect every day, and somebody may have done or said something that may have been off or whatever, and then they may come back and
Right.
just have a totally much more positive attitude and vibe from you.
Absolutely, and I'm completely open to that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm completely open to that. It you know, as long as it doesn't pass the point of no return, if you know what I mean. I mean, sometimes, yes, people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. And we can, I'm the type of person that can assess myself. If I make a mistake, then I will recognize that I made that mistake and try to make good on it. So I absolutely am open to that. But again, as long as it doesn't cross a particular threshold of no return, and we won't get too much into that. But
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So tell us about some of these new dances that you're coming out with. You got a new dance right now, and how do you select the music, and how do you go about creating these dances?
Okay, well, as far as the music, it's just, again, I've put this out there before. I don't really hear music, I feel music. So if something comes out and I'm feeling it, then I'm motivated to move to it. As far as how I create based on how I feel. The music really creates the dance, if that makes any sense, because like I said, I feel the music. So when the music changes, a lot of times my dance will change with it because it fits that particular part. So I don't keep things consistent necessarily for the sake of consistency. It has to fit with the music. So that's the type of choreographer I am, So once it moves me, I go with it and I put some things together and then I fine tune it and then bam, put it out.
All right, we have been talking to Traci Stilettozz Smith from Stilettozz Entertainment. If you don't know, go check out. Wait a minute, how does somebody even find out about you? How does somebody book you?
You can go to our website, which is stilettozz.com. We also, you can do that. I mean, you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms. Traci Stilettozz Smith on Facebook, Traci Stilettozz Smith on YouTube, Stilettozz 0 on TikTok, at Stilettozz on Instagram. And again, the website is www.stilettozz.com, or you can email me at stilettozz1@gmail.com.
All right. If you don't know, if you're anywhere, one more thing about the boardwalk performance that you do every year. Tell us about that.
Oh, okay. So yes, we do an annual Coney Island line dancing on the boardwalk. And we didn't do it this year, but we'll be back in 2023. But it's just an awesome way to be in the community, to get community participation. People love to dance. Dance to me brings people together. Dance is universal. I say it all the time. And when we're on the boardwalk, we meet people from different countries, and they literally will just start dancing with us, whether they know the dance or not. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's about bringing everybody together to have a good time. We're out there to have a good time, so that's what we do.
We've been talking to Traci Stilettozz Smith. Get in contact with her. Definitely make sure you see her on TikTok. She is #1 in the game. If y'all don't know, y'all need to know she's #1 in the game. Don't think Big Brother don't know. It's all positive energy all the time. Always dancing. Always great legs. I know your husband's over there. I don't care. Great legs. Great legs. Wonderful dancer. So if you don't know, come check out Traci Stilettozz Smith on stilettozz.com. Come check her out. Thank you. And let us know what you think about this conversation.
Thank you.